Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to be talking about our content objective of telling time. The content objective is 1.7e. I can tell time to the hour and half hour using an analog clock. So Ms. Garza has a couple notes just to talk about real quick. When we look at the different hands on a clock, the baby hand, or the short hand, is the hour hand. That's the one we look at first. The long hand is the minute hand, and that's the one we look at second to tell if it's at the half hour or if it's at the hour. So I have a few clocks here that we're just going to practice telling what time it is. So if I look at my first clock, I notice that the baby hand is between 2 hours. Since it's between 2 hours and it hasn't made it all the way back to 12, it's still pointing at the 3. So it is still 3 o'clock. Then we're going to use our little flower hops to jump to the 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So boys and girls, if the minute hand is at the 12, it is right at that hour. If the minute hand is at the 6, it's at the half hour. So I don't need to draw my flower petals on every single one of them. If the minute hand's on the 12, we say it's 00 because that's the next start of the hour. If it's at the 6, it's at half of the hour because it's half of the 60 minutes. We say it's at the 30 minutes because 30 is half of 60. So the time on this clock is 3:30. Now let's look at our second clock. Our second clock, the hour hand is pointing right at 10. And it's at the 12, which is our 00. So it's exactly 10 o'clock. Okay, let's look at our next one. Before I write it down, I want you to pause a minute and tell whoever's watching the video next to you what hour you think it is. So that's our hour, and these are our minutes. I want you to look at where it is right now and tell the person next to you, what hour do you think it is? Let's pause for a second. Boys and girls, I hope you said it was still 12 because it hasn't quite made it all the way around to make it to 1 o'clock yet. So it is still 12 as the hour. And remember, like the one above, when it's at the 6, that is the half hour. So it is still 12:30. Let's look at our next clock. It's exactly pointing to 8 o'clock. And it's at my 12, so that's exactly on the 8 o'clock. Now let's do our last two. Write my hour and my minutes. It's pointing exactly at the 11, so my hour is 11, and it's at the 12, 00. And then my last one, boys and girls, tell the person next to you what hour you think it is. Ready, go. Did I hear you say it was 7 still? If you did, good job. It hasn't made it all the way to the 8 yet, so it's still at the 7. And in our earlier example, when it's at 6, That's at the half hour mark because it's half of 60. It is 7:30. So boys and girls, there's going to be an assignment posted in Google Classroom for you to complete. And I want you to put your thinking caps on and watch this video as many times as you need to so Miss Garza can see if you can tell time to the hour and the half hour.